afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Sport Hour, the Thursday edition, coming to you live from the studio and stable of Power365 FM. My name is James Oluwadorotimera. Okay, we will be kicking start the show from MPF4G. Alright, first of all, let's talk about the national team. Nigeria is now ranked 39th, best team in the world, according to the latest FIFA ranking. Let's not forget, last month, Nigeria was placed on the 38th spot, according to FIFA ranking. So, talking about the latest ranking that was released by FIFA in the month of July, the Super Eagles dropped just a place in the FIFA ranking. The Super Eagles occupy the 5th spot on the continent, talking about CAF ratings. Why Morocco is still the #1 leading football nation in the continent, and they occupy 12th worldwide. Senegal is currently behind Morocco. Senegal is the 2nd football nation, ranked best in Africa. While we have Egypt on the 3rd spot, Ivory Coast on the 4th spot, Nigeria makes it top 5. Alright, we'll come back to that. Let me give you the latest sport gist in Nigeria, talking about MPFL. Wow, another player has moved from Enugu Rangers to Enyimba International. Carlo Nweke has sealed the move. Nigeria Premier Football League side Enyimba. According to reports, Carlo turned down a chance to extend his deal with reigning MPFL champions Enugu Rangers. He moved to Aba. But the midfielder is understood to have signed a 2-year contract with the People's Elephant. Carlo Nweke played an important role in Rangers' Type 2 success last season. He registered 4 goals in 29 appearances for Fidelis Ilechukwu side. Like I said earlier, before Carlo Nweke was Rangers captain Chukwudi Nwodu, who recently moved to Enyimba, and Carlo Nweke is the latest player to move from Enugu Rangers to Enyimba International. Who leaves the reigning champion to team up with a team that finished 3rd. Seems these players are not telling us something. Alright, straight up to the city of Maiduguri. Academy Warriors have wrapped up the signing of forward Daniel Barnabas from Nigeria Premier Football League side Plateau United. Barnabas left the Peace Boys after the expiration of his contract. The 24-year-old forward signed a 1-year contract with the option of another year. Barnabas registered 4 goals in 19 appearances for the Umbuat Magnus-led side last season. It will be recorded that Academy Warriors announced the signing of 9 new players last week. That means Daniel Barnabas make it the 10th player to join the Maiduguri side. The Maiduguri club will compete in the CAF Confederation Cup next season. Okay, speaking about Academy Warriors and CAF Champions League, Academy Warriors will play their home games in the CAF Confederation Cup at the Moshood Abiola Stadium in Abuja. The 2024 President Federation Cup champions took the decision after their home ground, the Academy Stadium in Maiduguri, failed to meet required CAF standard. It is the first time the club will be playing on the continent in over 2 decades. Ali Zubairu's side will face Benoni's club, Jadje Football Club, in the preliminary round. The first leg will be played between the 16th to the 18th of August, while the second leg will hold between the 23rd to the 25th of August. The Maiduguri club will confront former champions RS Bakene of Morocco in the second preliminary round should they overcome Jadje Football Club. I mean, they have a huge task ahead, even if they qualify. Alright, back to Rangers. And Nigeria Premier Football League champions Rangers have announced the signing of forward Onyekachi Okafor. Onyekachi Okafor joined the Flying Antelopes from Oriental rivals Atlant. The lanky forward signed a 2-year deal with Fidelis Electrical side. Well, Rangers announced his arrival on their X account, formerly known as Twitter. According to the statement, the announcement says, "We are thrilled to announce former Atlant Football Club forward Okafor Onyekachi, who has spent a 2-year contract with us. Welcome to the team." Well, Rangers have continued to bolster the team with new players ahead of the new season. They will take on Academy Warriors in the MPFL opener on the 31st of August, which happens to be on a Saturday, 2024. Before I leave the MPFL, in the women's corner, Nigeria champions Edo Queens have been confirmed among the 7 teams that will compete at the 2024 Wafu B Women's Champions League. Edo Queens will be joined by host FC Inter de Abidjan of Cote d'Ivoire, Asakas Ladies of Ghana, and Burkina Faso's Ayo Etin Selaidu, Ainovi Football Club of Benin Republic, Niger Republic Outfit, ASGNN, and ASCO Football Club of Togo are the other teams that will compete for honors at the competition. Cote d'Ivoire will host the competition from the 10th to the 24th of August 2024. Where Apem Dakwa defeated another Nigeria side, Delta Queens 1-0 in the final of last edition. The winner of the competition will represent the zone in the CAF Women's Champions League. Alright, quickly let's talk about NNL. The Nigeria National League has confirmed the relegation of 12 clubs to the Nationwide League One NLO. The teams are Stormer FC, Ekiti United Football Club, 1472 Football Club, FC One Rocket, Giant Brillas Football Club, Trade Safe Football Club, NAF Football Club, that's NAF, ABS Abubakar, Bukola Saraki Football Club, EFCC Football Club, Milantaki Care Football Club, Jigawa Golden Stars, and City Football Club of Abuja. The NNL confirmed this in a letter to the Nigeria Football Federation (NFF). Chairman of the NNL, George Aluo, said that the board was currently preparing for its annual general meeting, where it would formally receive all the clubs that will participate in the new season. To the glory of God, the 2023-2024 NNL season ended with giant strides recorded by the board. We have formally notified the NFF of the promotion and relegation of various clubs that gallantly participated in the league last season. Aluo told the media, the NFF media, our next program is the annual general meeting of the board and clubs, where we will receive the 4 clubs that dropped from the MPFL and the 8 that got promoted from the NLO. We are set and have promised Nigerians that we will improve on our last season's performance. We've raised the standard at NNL, and the new season will no doubt be competitive as our performance has propelled many of the clubs that participated in last season to become giant killers in Nigeria football. Okay, let's talk about the national team. And like I said, the Super Eagles of Nigeria have dropped one position in the latest FIFA World Ranking, where the Super Eagles are now 39th best team in the July ranking published by FIFA on Thursday, which is today. Like I said earlier, that you all should record that Nigeria was 38th best team in the world in June ranking. However, the Super Eagles are currently the 5th best team in Africa, while Morocco are number 1 in Africa, and now the 14th best team in the world. Behind Morocco, we have Senegal, Egypt, Ivory Coast, and Nigeria. However, Argentina is still the number 1 best team in the world, followed by France, Spain, England, Brazil, Belgium, Netherlands, Portugal, Colombia, and Italy, making the top 10. Others that made the list from 11 to 20 positions are Uruguay, Croatia, Germany, Morocco, Switzerland, USA, Mexico, Japan, Senegal, and Iran. Alright, quickly away from the Super Eagles, we're still talking about the national team. Quarter finalists in the women's event of the 2004 Olympic Games, Nigeria are scheduled to arrive in the French city of Bordeaux tonight, as the countdown begins for their first outing at the Women's Olympic Football Tournament in 16 years. The 9-time African champions who must negotiate an interesting group that also includes Brazil, Spain, and Japan, with the past Spain aboard an Air France flight and arrive in Bordeaux minutes before 11 p.m. The delegation of 18 players, 4 alternate players, and officials is scheduled to arrive at the team's Hotel Mekore aboard minutes before midnight. Quarter finalists are the Athens 2004 Olympics. The Super Falcons last featured at the Women's Olympic Football Tournament in China 2008. Back then, they lost 1-0 to Korea DPR. They lost 1-0 to Germany. They lost 3-1 to eventual silver medalist Brazil. That means they lost all games and didn't make it out of the group stage back in 2008. Women's football began as a demonstration sport at the Atlanta Olympic Games in 1996. The Falcons made their entry in 2000, 4 years later, in Australia, where they lost 3-1 to China, lost 3-1 to Norway, who were the eventual winners of the competition. They also lost 3-1 to the silver medalist USA. 3-1 in 3 games, the same score line. That's pathetic. Wow, these Super Falcons, the new shaped team. You also saw what happened last year at the FIFA Women's World Cup. Alright, quickly. Before we start talking about other sports, let's talk about Nigeria players that are applying their trade abroad, especially those that are in the transfer news. Okay, let me start with Watford player Tom Dele Bashiru. Well, Tom Dele Bashiru is different from Fisayo Dele Bashiru. Don't mix them. Fisayo Dele Bashiru is currently playing for Lazio on loan from Ataspor in Turkey. Well, Sky Bet Championship club Watford have announced Tom Dele Bashiru Watford Watford have announced that Tom Dele Bashiru has put pen to paper on a new contract. Dele Bashiru signed a 2-year contract with the option of another year. The 24-year-old arrived at Vicarage Road in 2019 after leaving Manchester City. The midfielder struggled to break into the first team in his first season at the club as an ACL injury, that's anterior cruciate ligament injury, unfortunately cut his season short during the early part of 2020-2021 season. Dele Bashiru, however, regained top form last season, providing his versatility by also playing as a right back. He scored 3 goals in 38 league appearances for the Hornets. All right, Osimhen and PSG are in advanced talk. Alright, Paris Saint-Germain are making progress with the transfer of Nigeria striker Victor Osimhen following the arrival of the player's agent, talking about Roberto Calenda on Tuesday. But it's no longer news that Napoli are willing to part ways with their most prized asset of 130 million euros this summer, and while offers haven't come from the player's preferred destination, the English Premier League, PSG are in the pole position to land a Nigerian striker. However, the French giants are not willing to pay more than 100 million euros for Osimhen, but they will have to add about 3 players to make the deal work. Report from Italy also say Napoli president Aurelio De Laurentiis is open to discussing details of the 100 million euro plus players deal. Where it was reported that PSG are ready to close the deal after talks with Roberto Calenda, who happens to be the agent of Victor Osimhen. Fabrizio Romano, an Italian transfer market expert, also confirmed that the deal is becoming concrete. Napoli are also confident that Calenda will get PSG to pay more than 100 million euros for Osimhen, as they hope to wrap up the deal before the start of the second phase of their preseason. The 2022-2023 Italian champions need Osimhen to leave before they can land their prime replacement, Romelu Lukaku. Chelsea are refusing to let him leave for under 35 million euros, so Napoli cannot make a move until they have sold Osimhen. The negotiation between Napoli and PSG is expected to take significant acceleration on the coming days. That will also erase interest in the player from Saudi Pro League, despite large sum of money put into the deal by Al Ahly. Osimhen has been moved about the idea of leaving Europe. Meanwhile, Osimhen continues pre-season training with Napoli. Our new coach Antonio Conte was left impressed by his attitude despite not having him in his plans for next season. Super Eagles goalkeeper Stanley Wabali has returned to training at Chippa United despite talks that he could exit the club this summer. Wabali rose to prominence earlier this year after an impressive outing with Nigeria at the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations in Ivory Coast. Former Super Eagles coach Jose Pesero brought in the Chippa United star to replace Francis Uzo, who has not been consistent for the Super Eagles. Talking about Francis Uzo. Well, Stanley Wabali kept 4 clean sheets for Nigeria at the AFCON in the run-up to their second place finish in the competition. And when he returned to Chippa United after the AFCON, he continued with his impressive performances and kept 11 clean sheets in 23 South Africa Premier League appearances for the club. Following this impressive form, Wabali has been linked with an exit to clubs like KPR, Al Ettifaq, Orlando Pirates, touted as potential destination. However, nothing concrete has happened yet, as none of the teams have made a concrete offer for the 28-year-old goalkeeper. Meanwhile, Nwabali has returned to Chippa United to begin pre-season. The Super Eagles star shared videos of himself doing drills at the club's training, the Chippa United training on Tuesday in the South African Premier League to resume next month. And if Nwabali does not get a move soon, he will be part of the club's campaign next season. Alright, former Super Eagles captain Vincent Eyama's Sons has signed his first professional contract at Ligue 1 club Lille. A proud Eyama made the announcement on his Facebook page. God is the greatest. Home sweet home, back home in different skins. Eyama was on the books of Lille for 7 years, making 143 league appearances. The young Eyama has been promoted to Lille's under-18 side. He will be determined to follow his father's footsteps by playing for the first team. Alright, Aston Villa have been given the green light to pursue Nigerian international Kelechi Iheanacho as injury expert Dr. Rajpabra allays concerned the Premier League side had over the striker's fitness. Dr. Rajpabra, a doctor in physical therapy and sports scientist, told Via News that Iheanacho's injury history should not raise any red flag for potential suitors, despite his limited playing time recently. The 27-year-old forward, who currently plays straight in the Championship, although he's now a free agent, is reportedly in talks with Via sporting director Monchi over a potential summer move. Bra emphasized that Iheanacho's previous Premier League experience will be beneficial for a smooth transition, saying he's moving to the Premier League from the Championship, but he's played there before, so would understand the demands of the Premier League. Iheanacho boasts an impressive Premier League record, having made 196 appearances in the top flight, scoring 42 goals and providing 25 assists. Alright, Chuba Akpom, Super Eagles hopeful. Chuba Akpom will be out of Ajax before the start of the 2024-2025 season, after the player confessed that he was unsure of his future at the Johan Cruyff Arena. The 28-year-old has always been a subject of transfer speculation and rumors linking the former Arsenal player with a return to England. It's only been a year since Akpom left England for the Netherlands, but the Super Eagles hopeful has been linked with a return, with several unnamed clubs said to be interested with his services. Akpom had an excellent 2022-2023 season with Middlesbrough, where he scored an impressive 28 league goals from 38 matches and almost guided them back to the Premier League. Well, he went on to become one of the most sought-after strikers in Europe, but eventually joined Ajax for a fee believed to be in the region of 12 million euros. After a difficult start in Amsterdam, Chuba Akpom showed glimpses of his brilliance, netting 15 goals and registering 3 assists in 35 league appearances across all competitions. The 28-year-old start is even more impressive considering the fact that he started only 9 of those 35 games. However, in an interview with NOS, Chuba Akpom discussed his focus on football despite the ongoing speculation. At 28, the London-born forward is keen to secure more playing time next season. Chuba Akpom has 4 years left on his running contract with Ajax Amsterdam, but the Dutch side will let him go for the right offers. Super Falcons midfielder Peace Effie has completed a move to Greek side Ofikret. Peace Effie linked up with Ofikret on a free transfer following the expiration of her contract with Portuguese women's side Braga. With a presence in the top leagues and an explosive competitive character, Peace brings with it the passion, experience, and skills that will take our team to new heights, the club stated on their official website. This transfer is not only a boost, but also an indication of high expectation and ambitious goals we set for the future. The 23-year-old played in the Nigeria Women's Football League (NWFL) with Edo Queens and Rivers Angels before moving abroad. Effie also previously had stints in Spain and Israel. We wish Peace Effie, we wish her well in her future endeavor. Alright, let's talk about other sports. We'll come back to football. Nigeria-born boxer Emeka Nwokolo has expressed his desire to fight in Nigeria in 2025 while donating boxing kits to young pugilists in Lagos during a press briefing of the Nigeria Boxing Board of Control office in the National Stadium, Surulere, Lagos State. The United States-based fighter, who recently won his 4th and 5th professional titles in June, is on a visit to his homeland where he was born before migrating with his father, another legendary boxer, Charles Nwokolo. According to him, he says, I think by next year, by God's grace, I will have a fight coming up in Nigeria. I'm going to fight in Lagos or in my hometown where my dad comes from in Anambra. The 31-year-old who currently holds the WBA North American Boxing Association Super Welterweight and Universal Boxing Organization World Super Welterweight belt donated gloves and other boxing equipment to aspiring boxers in Lagos. Secretary General of the MBBOC, Remy Aboderin, praised Nwokolo's gesture, stating, "This guy is an inspiration to other young ones in Nigeria. More Nigerian boxers are looking up to him to be like him and even maybe want to surpass him." We're talking about Paris game. The House of Representatives yesterday announced the donation. Deputy Speaker, House of Representatives Benjamin Kalu, who presided over the plenary in the absence of the Speaker Tajuddin Abbas, disclosed this when the House hosted the Minister of Sport Development John Enoch, who was in the Green Chamber to unveil Team Nigeria's Olympic and Paralympic kits. Kalu disclosed that the 100 million naira, which will come from the lawmakers' earning, was in honor of Ekene Adams, the lawmaker who, until his death on Tuesday, chaired the House Committee on Sport. The money is coming from our salaries, Kalu, who spoke on behalf of the Speaker, stated. Similarly, the Chairman House of Committee on Army, Balele Aminu, donated the sum of $2,000 to Team Nigeria. Some of the athletes who spoke during the session commended the lawmakers for their overwhelming support for the team and promised to make the country proud throughout the sporting event. The Olympic Games will hold from the 26th of July, that is next week, to the 11th of August. We're still talking about the Olympics. Nigeria women's basketball team, the Tigers, will travel to Paris, France for the 2024 Olympic Games this month and hope to get their first win in 20 years at the Games. Heading into the tournament, the 2023 FIBA Women's Afro Basketball winners have been placed at the bottom of the power rankings in the latest team analysis. The Nigerians are ranked 12th among the participating teams and faced a difficult road at the Olympic Games. The Tigers, African source representative in the women's basketball event at the Paris 2024 Olympics, appeared in Group B alongside Australia, Canada, and France. The African champions are poised for a consecutive appearance after participating in the 2020 Tokyo Olympics. The upcoming women's Olympic basketball tournament will see Nigeria aiming to land a surprising blow in the group phase and claim their first ever win at the event. The Tigers are yet to register a win in the competition since they made the Olympic bow at the Athens edition of the Games in 2004, when they lost all 5 games and conceded over 400 points. But at Tokyo 2020, they were defeated 87-62 by France in the first game before other losses to the US 81-72 and Japan 102-83 respectively. Despite failing to secure a win in Tokyo, they impressed with their performances, sparking hope of a bright future. They will now try to build on their last Olympic outing with 7 days to the start of the game. Head coach Rena Wakama will try to put the team in the best shape as they seek their first triumph since Athens 2004. It's going to be an enormous challenge since Nigeria are the underdogs, having been ranked the lowest team in Paris. Nigeria will be banking on terrific Ami Okonkwo for inspiration after the forward claimed MVP honors at the FIBA Women's Afro Basketball 2023 edition. She then also impressed in a big way at the FIBA Women's Olympic Qualifying Tournament 2024 in Antwerp. If Okonkwo can turn up the dial in the front court, then that will be massive, especially since the Tigers have received a huge boost in the backcourt with the return of Ezankalu, another class act who has already delivered at the biggest events including Tokyo 2020 and at the FIBA Basketball World Cup 2018. The playmaker will assume a position as leader in the absence of team captain Sarah Ogoke, who would be at the tournament for personal reasons. Well, alongside in the D Tigers team, there will be another player, Elizabeth Balogun, and Promise and Kamara, who are both capable of putting up numbers in terms of scoring, and in the case of the latter, additional dimes. There will be further strength under the basketball in the shape of Majunatu Musa, whose size and power will be vital, as with that of Palace Kuna Iye Akpana. Despite the tough task ahead, Rena Wakama's the coach of the Tigers, Rena Wakama, expressed confidence in the team as they continue training in their camp in Germany. Meanwhile, the team will test Germany in a friendly game in Berlin on the 19th of July, that's tomorrow, before taking on Serbia in Belgrade. Belgrade 21st of July, and Japan in Lille. That will be 24th of July as well. Run Club Abuja, a sports club in FCT, talking about Federal Capital Territory, has raised a sum of 8.5 million naira for a leprosy community health center through a charity. And that's a commendable one. We're talking about the Olympics, the athlete village for the Paralympics and the Paris Olympics officially opened and welcomed its first inhabitant today. The village to the north of Paris will house nearly 14,500 people, including 9,000 athletes at its peak. 8 days before the opening ceremony, the first team members who arrived were from Australia and Brazil. We are ready, the deputy head of the village, Augustin Tramvanchau, told French media. Organizers are proud of offering a village that says it does not require air conditioning to keep residents cool, with temperatures inside said to be at least 6 degrees Celsius, that's 42 Fahrenheit, lower than outside in summer. Some delegations have ordered their own air conditioning unit anyway. The village contains a host of innovations intended to make it a model of low carbon construction. after they have been used by Olympians and Paralympians between the 26th of July and September 8th. The apartment will be converted into homes with at least third destined for public housing. Okay. Talking about athletics. Rather. It's reported that Zane Ujis would prefer to let his performances do the talking in Paris. If you don't have main character energy, track and field ain't for you. So says American 100 meter and 200 meter world champ Netflix new behind the scenes athletic series. Zane Ujis broke a 30-year break, become the first British man to make the 100 meter podium at the World Championship for 20 years with bronze in Budapest. The 29-year-old is hoping to use London and the boost of a home crowd once again as a springboard to the global success when he lines up for a tantalizing 100 meter race on Saturday, 6 days before the Paris 2024 opening, where he will be joined on the start line by Liles, winner of 3 gold last summer, and Botswana Leslie Tebogo, who took world silver ahead of Ujis. Alright, quickly let's talk about Formula 1, away from athletics. Talking about Formula 1, the US-based Haas team have decided to drop Kevin Magnussen for the 2025 Formula 1 season. Magnussen's departure does not reveal who will replace him as the teammate of Britain, Oliver Bierman, next season. However, BBC Sport has been told that Esteban Ocon, who races for Alpine this season, will take the drive. The information comes from sources close to Haas and Mercedes, who manage the Frenchman's career. The decision means Haas will have an all-new Formula 1 lineup next year. Magnussen's current teammate, Nico Hülkenberg, is moving to the Sauber team as it morphs into Audi. Time for the German company's official Formula 1 entry in 2026. Magnussen raced for Haas from 2017 until 2020 and was resigned before 2022 season after they dropped the Russian Nikita Mazepin following the country's invasion of Ukraine. His best result for the teams is 5th, which he has achieved 3 times. His highest championship finish for them was in 2018 when he was 9th. His career best result is the 2nd place he scored on his Formula 1 debut for McLaren at the 2014 Australia Grand Prix. As team principal Ayao Komatsu said Kelvin has truly been a bedrock of their driver lineup over the years. Charles Leclerc says when Ferrari told him Lewis Hamilton will be joining the team next year, following 4-time champion Sebastian Vettel and current partner Carlos Sainz. Alright, let's talk about tennis. Mayaga will host the Billie Jean King Cup finals in November after they were moved from Seville. The 12 teams women's competition will take place from the 13th to the 20th of November at the Palacio de Deportes Jose Maria. The 19th of November will take place in Mayaga for the 3rd consecutive year. Tyrese Haliburton. Now I'm talking about basketball. Tyrese Haliburton has spewed the prospect of winning gold at the 2024 Paris Olympics on a par with winning the NBA championship. Haliburton, just 24 years of age, is part of Team USA men's side for the Olympic Games later this month. While there is no bigger prize domestically than winning the NBA championship, the prospect of earning an Olympic gold medal is one that the Indiana Pacers point guard considers comparable. The USA men's side have won Olympic gold 16 times in the traditional 5x5 event, including at each of the 4 previous games. Alright, quickly let's head back to football. I'm talking about football. In the transfer news, Premier League side Aston Villa will compete. Okay, Premier League club Aston Villa will complete a club record fee of £50 million for Everton midfielder Amadou Onana this weekend. Aston Villa manager Unai Emery has beaten Bayern Munich and Barcelona to land the 22-year-old. Onana has previously been reported to be a target for Arsenal and Newcastle United. The Belgium international has agreed personal terms on a 5-year deal, set to undergo a club medical when he returns from a short break following his involvement with Belgium at the Euro 2024. Nana joined Everton from Lille in a £33 million deal a few years ago. Former Germany coach Joachim Löw wants the vacant England job. Not in news anymore that Saheed recently resigned as the manager of the Three Lions following the conclusion of the Euro 2024. Saheed had led England to the Euro 2024 final where they lost 2-1 to champion Spain. However, Joachim Löw will welcome conversation with the English Football Association as the 6th successor to Southgate. The 64-year-old managed Germany for 15 years and won the 2014 World Cup in Brazil while in charge of his country's national team. He famously guided Germany to their 4-1 round of 16 win over England at the 2010 World Cup in South Africa. Alright, Arsenal have announced that midfielder Jack Henry Francis has joined Sligo Rovers on loan until the end of the Irish season in November. Okay, Benfica youngster João Neves has decided to join Paris Saint-Germain despite interest from Manchester United. Neves has been linked with move to Manchester United and Paris Saint-Germain this summer, but it looks like the PSG is poised to win the race for the 19-year-old. Paris Saint-Germain manager Luis Enrique has played an important part in convincing Neves. Enrique's side have offered a sum of £59 million, including add-ons to Benfica for the player's signature. Maximilian, the son of Zlatan Ibrahimovic, has signed his first professional contract at the Serie A club. World football transfer expert Fabrizio Romano made this known on his X account. According to Romano, Maximilian will start playing with AC Milan youth team. Milan Futuro tweeted Zlatan Ibrahimovic's son Maximilian has signed his first pro contract at AC Milan to start playing with the youth team Milan Futuro. Zlatan Ibrahimovic is currently a senior advisor at AC Milan, having played for the club in the past years. Ex-Barcelona and former Liverpool star joins Fabregas at Como. Pepe Reina has signed for Como in the Serie A. Chelsea will get almost £1 million if England decide to replace Gareth Southgate with Graham Potter. Potter left the Blues last April after less than 7 months in charge. However, it was reported that the Premier League club remains obliged to pay his salary, believed to be around £200,000 a week until October. If he is appointed England manager, the wage Chelsea pays to Potter would then be deducted from the amount outstanding from Chelsea. That means he would. That means should the Football Association appoint the 49-year-old in near future, the Premier League side will receive a boost of close to £1 million. Chelsea paid Brighton around £21 million compensation for Potter and his backroom staff in September 2022 rather. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is where I have to draw the curtain talking about Sport R, the Thursday edition. Join me tomorrow, same time, same station. My name is James Oluwaduro Timarem. Au revoir.